Hello friends, Katie Hunt here with your weekly intuitive reading for the week of July 29th, 2019. How's it going? It's been a rough one. It's been really tough couple of weeks for a lot of us. I am having many folks reaching out to me, asking me what the hell is going on. People are struggling. People are spiraling. People are questioning. So let me know in the comments below. If you want, you can send me a private message also. Let me know what's going on with you, how these last couple weeks have been rolling out for you, and how they've been making you feel. Things have been very weird. There's been a lot of growth, a lot right up at the surface for people, which means that we're kind of on edge a little bit. It's very easy to, bleed. Somebody nicks you. Other words, it's very easy to become very emotional. You feel very sensitive, very much on edge. Some people are losing their footing a little bit. They don't really know who they are anymore. Things are just kind of like seeming like they're up in the air right now. And so with all of this, it's pretty intense. So you're not losing your mind. You're not going crazy. It's all part of the experience. Sometimes it's just best to surrender to the feeling, surrender to what it is that you're going through, asking for help, asking for help from your guides and from your spiritual teachers, asking the universe for help. I've been doing this for a while and I'm still working on trusting that things will come at the perfect time, or that things will just come, period. If you ask for them, they will come in a way that maybe you didn't expect, but your prayers are being answered. So utilize this time of need, and ask for help. Ask for what it is what you need from the universe. If you are unsure of your relationships or your career or your projects or ask for help, ask for clarity, and it will come. Yes, I'm always amazed that the things that I ask for come. They end up coming. It's crazy. You put in your order to the universe and it is delivered. We talk about this, we talk about trusting that it's on its way, but our human brains don't like to trust. So this is a friendly reminder to you to ask for what it is that you want. Do not reaffirm the things that you don't want, because the universe does not distinguish between what we want and what we don't want. We just have to ask, always ask for what we want. So if you find yourself in negativity or talking about the things that you don't want, counterbalance it or counteract it by saying 3 things that you do want, for example. So this week, it'll be an interesting week. A good week for rest, a good week for recuperating, a good week not to go too far into the story of what all of this means. We like to know why we're feeling this way and why we're being so affected by the cosmos or by other people, but sometimes we don't need the whole story. Sometimes our mental body does need to understand so it can let go and so that it can release. But other times it's just about surrendering and just thinking, that's really interesting that I'm feeling that way, but I'm not going to allow myself to go off on this tangent trying to figure this out, because sometimes it doesn't need to be known. Sometimes the events that have led you to this place are very convoluted, very intertwined, and it's not always in your best interest at that moment to completely understand the full story, because maybe the full story hasn't really been completed yet. Understand also that this is a beautiful part in your journey. This is, in your book, this is the time where the hero starts questioning her or his own beliefs, his or her own abilities. And this is just part of your story. It's not the end. It's definitely not the beginning. You're in this beautiful time of transformation. So as much as it sucks, just try to enjoy it as much as you can. Try to step back as an objective third party and just observe everything that's going on around you with curiosity and awe, and just looking at it like, holy crap, this is mental and it's fascinating all at the same time. Find myself, there's like these 2 versions of myself. The part that's clearing is the old parts that, I didn't really know were still driving the car, but it's like very stubborn, almost ego-driven, like seeking safety all the time. This part of myself, this old primal part of myself that has run the show for this long, is like freaking out or having its moment, and then my higher self is kind of a part of the conversation too, but she lets this part have the conversation about, oh my God, think about this and this and this, and I have to do this, this, and this, and this, because this means safety. And the higher self, of the higher version of myself goes, isn't that interesting that you are still needing all of those boundaries to feel safe? Isn't that interesting that your ego is coming up in such a way that it's trying to control this? Isn't that interesting that this uncertainty that you're facing, this stuff that's just kind of up in the air, is making you so insecure that you're overcompensating by having to control? Isn't that fascinating? And so it's like this dual conversation that's always happening in my head. I feel crazy a little bit, but this is the part that's clearing, you guys. This is the part, this old part that is being challenged and is super uncomfortable. It's being challenged so that it can grow and so that you can let it go, and so that it's so obvious that you go, that doesn't work anymore. That's holding me back. So get curious, really observe, be in meditation this week. And as you find acting out or freaking out or starting to doubt yourself or go into denial, step back into that higher good. Even if you imagine yourself like 100 feet above your head, really take yourself out of your experience and out of your physical body. And that will really help you to gain a new perspective on what it is that's going on right now. See yourself through the eyes of the Creator and see yourself with unconditional love, because this is a part of your story. And I promise you that in a few weeks, even months, you will look back and be so friggin' grateful for everything, because this time is a crazy rapid period of growth. And I've been saying that all friggin' year, I know, but right now it's like been all of this stuff has been like compiling, and now it's like exploded these last couple weeks. We will be going into a whole other energy portal. We have a little tiny bit of a break this week. So really rest up, really charge yourself up, because we are going into Lionsgate, which is like this really intense portal. We'll talk more about that next week. But just really keep that in mind this week, not to allow yourself to go too far over the edge. Bring yourself back, look at it from a higher perspective, and have some friggin' patience and love for yourself. You're going through a tremendous growth period. So go easy on yourself. And you don't have to have everything figured out. Spoiler alert, nobody has it figured out. You're not the only one. So, this week in particular, when you are too focused on your own story, bring yourself out of it by focusing on others. Not so much that we're neglecting ourselves, but do an act of kindness every single day for someone else. Maybe once during the week, throw in some kindness for yourself too. Like do something above and beyond for yourself that you normally wouldn't. But be very generous with your love this week. Focus on service. And remember that those tiny little acts of kindness go a long way. They not only spread love in the world and spread happiness, and that trickles out, but it also helps you to let go a little bit and to get out of that lack mentality, that if I have enough to share with someone else, then I'm not doing so bad myself. And also, from a human ego perspective, it does make you feel good to help others. So we don't do it for ourselves. We are purely doing it for other people, but it has incredible benefits for all involved. So really focus on that this week. What are some things, maybe even brainstorm if you are really, that's kind of a hard area of your life to fit in. Brainstorm like 3 things that you can do this week for other people. Maybe that's buying someone lunch or a coffee. Maybe that's giving somebody who's asking for change. Maybe that's giving them $5 or a gift card to like a coffee shop or something like that. Maybe it's helping someone out at work that you typically wouldn't. Maybe it's something as simple as keeping the door open for somebody who could use a little bit of a hand. Simple things, but it goes a long, long way. We are blowing up. Monday, Tuesday, be curious about what it is in your life that is changing, evolving, and that needs to go, and that's almost exploding. So are you lighting the match, or is somebody else lighting the match? But what is it that's kind of blowing up in your life? And when I say blow up, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes, I mean, mostly of the time in my experience, when this card comes up, this is the Tower card. But when we talk about things blowing up in our life, it's usually because we've decided to blow it up. So what are you blowing up in your life, and why are you blowing it up? Doesn't have to be a bad thing. Doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't also have to be very big. Maybe there's just a part of your journey that maybe is shifting in a big way. And in order to do that, you kind of have to clear out all of the building blocks that you've already put down so that you can make space for new blocks. So then we go from this period of rapid change. Something has to go, something changes. This is mostly on the inner world. We're making really big shifts in the inner world. Then that allows us to go to this place of deep reflection and deep wisdom. We kind of love to have chaos. We love to blow up when we are, super emotional, or there's a lot of stuff going around, or in our minds, if we're kind of like being pushed beyond this point of comfort, then sometimes we just blow up. And then once we blow up, we've got all that energy out, or we've destructed something, then we can have space to kind of reflect back and go, ooh, maybe that wasn't the best, or maybe that was the right thing to do, but now I have all of this wisdom. So this is the beautiful part afterwards. The wisdom is within you. Are you taking the time throughout your journey to really reflect on what it is that you're learning? Or are you simply just going through your life just trying to get by? And if you are, that's okay. But this is a reminder this week to maybe take some time for reflection. Really connect into that guru within you. She is there. He is there. He's just waiting to be tapped on, and all of the answers that you seek truly are in yourself. You just have to get quiet enough to hear them. And this week, middle of the week, it will be very easy for you to hear them. And it'll be very easy, almost the hindsight 2020, that saying, it's always 2020 in hindsight. That kind of happens on Wednesday. Like Wednesday, Thursday, middle of the week, we get that clarity. So be sure that you listen. By the weekend, rest. You've just blown something up. You've just reconnected with this guru within you, this divinity, this divine being inside of you that is now driving the bus. We've now exploded the ego. The ego is no longer driving the bus. The divine self is now driving the bus. So that is a big, big, big shift. You've cleared a whole heck of a lot of stuff. You have come to all of these realizations about you. You are beginning this brand new journey, this brand new path. You've taken your ego out of it again by focusing on other people and focusing on service for others. You've gone through a lot, so now it's time to rest. Lay back, chill out this weekend. Don't do anything too crazy. Just rest, recuperate, and relax. Reflect on all of the things that have happened and take time to rest. If you're still trying to bang your head against the wall, trying to figure stuff out, let it go this weekend. If the insight and the wisdom is still evading you, let it go, because it will come when you're not pushing for it. So let go. Be open and receptive, because the information will come. Some things that you really need to do this week is to make yourself very grounded. One way to do that is, like we talked about at the beginning, focus on service for others. Spend lots of time outside, walk barefoot. I love just touching the earth and sending like huge rays of love into the planet. You can do that. You can just even focus on what you're doing. Take 3 deep breaths. Feel the weight of your chair, or your bottom on the chair. Those kinds of things. Another thing that we are being called to work on is our abundance mindset. Abundance can come in many different forms, and you're being called to get out of that lack mentality. We do have a new moon coming up this week. So the new moon is a great time to plant seeds and to manifest and to really decide what it is that you want. So maybe this is a great time for you to plant seeds for money, but also my intention is to become more comfortable and better with abundance. So recognizing that abundance comes in many different forms. Collect little totems as your dreams begin to manifest. So if you're like, I am so abundant, or I'm so prosperous, and you put a number out there, and then suddenly somebody buys you a coffee, that is a sign of abundance. That is a sign that your dreams, your wishes are manifesting from the universe. So acknowledge them. Even if you just say, okay, thank you for this. Like, thank the universe for bringing this to you, or affirming every time something good happens that I'm so abundant, I'm so prosperous. Every time you spend money, saying, I'm so abundant, I'm so prosperous. And anytime you have those feelings of lack, maybe reflect on those a little bit. But use the power of the moon and all of these crazy portals we're going through right now and all of this intense growth to let those things go so that you can be the highest version of yourself. And that includes being able to manifest like a master and to really step into that powerful abundance mindset that you deserve. You don't deserve to live in lack. Your lack mentality is something that you've just had to come and face on earth. We all have a different version of it. So it's just something else for you to overcome. Again, focusing on asking for what we want, being careful that we aren't asking for things that we don't want, and not being afraid of asking for what we want, because sometimes we don't ask for it in case it doesn't happen, and then we begin to doubt ourselves or doubt the universe or doubt this whole process. Don't allow fear to get into it. Again, you can even start to question why that's something that bothers you as well, but really focus on what it is that you want. Start to put those orders into the universe and just let it go. It may not happen exactly when you want it to, but trust me, it is on its way. And it's kind of exciting. If you write a list down of all of the things in your life that you want and you really focus on manifesting them, you're feeling the emotions, you're coming back to it, you're affirming, you're clearing out all of that negativity that comes up as you start to go through these affirmations. You are doing the work, you are making it happen. And it's kind of exciting to know that these are things that are on their way to you. It's just a matter of time. You're just sitting there waiting for all of these beautiful things to happen. That is a way better, more abundant, more blissful state of being than worrying that it's not going to come to you, or worrying that you're not worthy, or worrying that you're not doing the work. Try to be in a state of bliss when you are trying to manifest, and also go big. Go bigger and go bigger. So ask for what you want, but then before you put in your order, make it bigger and bigger and bigger so that you really just get all of the wonderful things in life. That does many, many things. It also, brings you something at a higher level, but it also does something to your brain where you'll start to, first of all, realize the limitations that you have a lot faster. If your dream is very big, it's like, oh, who do you think you are? All of those blocks really come up very strong when it's a very big, audacious goal. But also, we got to aim super high, because sometimes our human motivation will only get us to about here. But that's still higher than the original bar that you set, which was down here. So aim high, because you are totally worth it. You are going to go above and beyond. And I just know it. And you just have to know it too. So use the power of this new moon to bring in what it is that you want. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not already, please come by katiehunt.ca to subscribe for weekly updates only shared through my email list, and also for your chance to win a free session with myself. Please also remember to like, share, and subscribe this video so we can grow this channel together. And I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. Have a fantastic week.